On this episode of Lapeef, Let's Talk.
We're not saying disrespect.
Yeah,
we're not saying disrespect. We're just saying, you know,
but
if you're half naked, then you're going to command a certain type of attention.
But you are saying disrespect because people are agreeing that that's the uniform for prostitutes. Like,
no,
can you imagine?
You cannot hold respect for a person and not disrespect them at the same time. That too can coincide. I don't have to disrespect you, but not to have any respect for you. I just
really?
You dress a prostitute respectfully.
All right.
How? How?
Ma'am, I'm choosing. if you choose it for a date, you can address
it's problematic. I actually think it's problematic that y'all think that even prostitutes don't deserve respect. Like,
what are we talking about? What is dog? Listen, JR.
I don't think that's the overall premise of the question. It's just dress how you want to be addressed. I don't think it's around.
Hey, Kay, just sit back and take notes real quick.
No,
JR, what the heck is going on right now, bro?
No. Because y'all are saying dress how you want to be addressed.
Okay.
But then you're saying, I don't judge homeless people, but I do judge women at clubs. Like, where are you drawing these lines?
You're just tuning in. Welcome to Lapeef, Let's Talk. Make sure you guys get these likes up. Also, make sure you guys subscribe. You guys are here, but you guys are not subscribing. So we really appreciate if you guys would. Thank you. Moving on to our third topic, which is dress how you want to be addressed. Rilla, he asked that question. If a chick's on Instagram and she's half naked, is it okay to address her sexually? Why not?
Yeah, that's but honestly, that's what you're showcasing. That's what you advertise. So of course, most dudes and even females in this day and age, that's what they're gonna lead with, right? When you pose that question, I'm thinking more or less like, I take it in my personal space, right? So for me, I'm a child of hip hop, and for a long time, I love sneakers, I love caps, I love t-shirts, sweatsuits, all that other stuff, right? The Bible talks about, when I was a child, I spoke as a child, acted like a child. When I became a man, I put away childish things.
Mm-hmm.
And, listening to Sister Shahrazad Ali on MTR the other day, she was talking about how you got to put young boys in hard bottoms. And she said it's something about being in hard bottoms that make you stand a certain type of way, makes you present yourself a certain type of way. I didn't learn to respect being in a suit and in hard until I got out of my 20s into my 30s. It's hip hop, this, that, and third, whoopty whoop, blase, split. So if I'm in a situation and the law approached me a certain type of way, I can't get, I used to get mad, like, oh, you doing it because I'm black and you doing it because I'm. Nah, I honestly know that in certain instances, I've been about. They said they was looking for a dude, dark-skinned dude, bald head, glasses, goatee, beard, with a hoodie. That's what I was wearing at the time. And I'm not saying, any amount of disrespect should be tolerated based on what you're wearing, but I'm saying when you go into certain spaces, people are 100% going to dress you based on how you dress. And it's the same with females, man. If you're willing to listen, so how I was raised, my grandma taught us, if she willing to show, she willing to share, right? And so that's how I understood, and maneuvered and approached certain females. And then the females that carry themselves more demure, more, whatever, you address them a completely different way. So 1000%, yeah, you should listen. You dress for how you want to be addressed 1000%.
I was having this conversation with a few people, and believe it or not, a lot of people said it doesn't matter how you dress, you should always get respect. I don't agree.
I agree with you, JR.
Yeah, I don't agree. If I walk outside with some gray sweats with that imprint,
all right.
How do you think that I'm going to get addressed? How do you think I'm going to get addressed?
Hey, Zaddy.
Exactly. So,
And JR always throwing a curveball, bro.
I mean, that's real talk because like most of the people that I was speaking with was women, and the women said, no, it don't matter how I dress, you need to respect me. Well, then same thing should go for guys. It don't matter what I wear. If I'm wearing those gray sweatpants, respect me. I'm not
Wait a
saying
minute.
look, but respect me. Go ahead, Kay. Go ahead.
So are y'all saying, so do y'all all just disrespect homeless people? Everybody here like that agrees with this? So JR, do you just disrespect homeless people who might be dirty or wearing whatever? You just disrespect them because they're not dressed to impress.
That's not what he's saying. What he's saying is that we understand a homeless person. We understand a homeless person because he's dressed homeless.
Let him answer. He's a grown
well,
man.
He will, but I'm going to answer as well. He's dressed homeless, and so you assume he's homeless.
Okay, JR, what do you think?
Thank you, Kay.
Courtney, you know we have a special relationship. Go ahead, JR. What do you think?
You asked me a question about the homeless man. If the
are
homeless
you
people,
saying?
Go ahead.
Where do you draw the line? If you're saying that people should be addressed in a certain way based on how they dress, where do you draw the line?
Well, the homeless people don't necessarily have a choice. So I don't think that they can control. It's just kind of like whatever they have there, they're going to put on. So I wasn't speaking when, in a sense, when it comes to homeless people, but I'm speaking to more of the audience of people that have a choice on what they wear, what they do, what they post.
But how do you ever
how they
know?
appear?
How do you ever know those people's stories? How do you know who they are? How do you know
What does
why?
that
You
story
don't
have
have
to do with
control
this?
over what you post. You don't have control over what you put out there.
No, I didn't say. Why are you always put Anton?
I'm asking.
Why?
I'm asking a question, so I can't ask a question.
You can ask a question, but you can't put words in my mouth. I never said that.
I didn't put words in your mouth. I just asked the question.
Okay. People absolutely have a choice in terms of, let's say, your average person, right? Putting up something online. But the thing about it is that you don't know their situation. You don't know why they're dressing like that. You don't know anything. So why would you, as a grown person, be like, I'm just going to disrespect them because they're not dressed how I would like? Like, what kind of logic is that?
Let me ask you something, Kay, because I also think there's a uniform for everything. So if you're dressed like a slut, then I'm going to assume you're a slut. If you're dressed like a police officer, I'm going to assume that you're a police officer. But I have a question for you. So when you talk about
uniform, what's the slut uniform?
Let me ask you a question first. Do you believe that there's a look, quote unquote, like a homeless look? So when you see a homeless man or a homeless woman on the street, what does that look encompass?
I have no idea. I've seen all types of homeless people.
Okay, well, make it different.
No, they look different ways. I mean, some homeless people are dressed like how I'm dressed right now. Some homeless people have on, I mean, you can't always tell when someone is homeless.
Okay, you on one.
You literally
you on one tonight, Kay.
You know what?
Usually I'm the one that choose violence. You
let's forget the homeless. Okay.
Joanna 2.0.
What is a hooker on the street? Have you seen those on the street?
Some.
Okay,
what do they look
come
like,
on.
What do they look like, Kay, the ones that you've seen on the street?
I don't know why y'all are so comfortable putting this umbrella thing over everything.
I just want you to answer that question if you can. The prostitutes that you've seen on the street, what do they look like? I've seen prostitutes out in the street wearing a thing that looks like a Catwoman outfit. I've seen them wearing regular clothes. I've seen like just jeans and a t-shirt. I've seen them wearing with all their body parts out. I don't know why y'all are breathing hard. I don't know why you're.
What do you be reading? What do you be reading at night?
Let me simplify. Hold on. You see a police officer on the street. What is a cop wear?
What does a police officer wear?
A police uniform.
Okay. So if I had a police uniform on and I walk in the store and it's getting robbed, what do you think they're going to ask me to do?
Courtney.
What do you think they're going to ask me to do?
They're going to assume you're a police person because
I'm wearing the uniform of what it is to be a police officer.
Courtney, but this is where the error in what you're saying is. There is no uniform to be a walker of the night. There is no uniform.
It is look at Pretty Woman, for instance. You think that Pretty Woman, Sandra Bullock, you think that they just came up with that outfit? Do you think they just came up with that outfit for fun? They're in the street club.
That was Julia Roberts.
But I don't care who it was. I don't care. You know who it is. But however, that outfit that she had on, that was a streetwalker outfit, was it not?
So Courtney, if you go to a club, because if you go to, I don't be going to clubs these days, whatever. But back when I was in my 20s and whatnot. Really? Let's say, Courtney, you went to a club. Would you just assume every woman there in skimpy clothes was a prostitute? Like, come on.
I would think they were going.
I think that they for the street.
If they had their boobies out, boots, all that.
I'm trying to get you.
For the streets.
That's not what I asked. I said, would you think they were a prostitute?
I would think they were looking uniform. Yeah, I would. They'd be looking for sex. Yes, they'll be in the club showing their stuff for attention for a man to go home with that night. You're absolutely right.
So you would think they were a prostitute if you saw them out at the club with a short skirt.
They're wanting sex. Prostitutes want sex for money. These women will probably trade sex for drinks. Yes, it's the same thing. Absolutely. Why would you not? What would be the purpose of a woman having her breast out and her butt out?
It's okay.
On a Bible study?
You know what? My thing about this is that personally, and I'm not going to say what anybody else should do or whatever. Personally, I am not going to disrespect somebody based on what they're wearing. I'm just not. Like, that's not what I'm going to do. If y'all choose to look at somebody and
we're not saying disrespect.
Yeah, we're
not saying disrespect. We're just saying,
you are.
If you're half naked, if you're half naked, then you're going to command a certain type of attention.
But you are saying disrespect because people are agreeing that that's the uniform for prostitutes. Like,
no, you cannot hold respect for a person and not disrespect them at the same time. That too can coincide. I don't have to disrespect you, but not to have any respect for you. I just
really?
You dress a prostitute respectfully.
All right.
How? How?
Ma'am, I'm choosing. If you choose it for a date, you can address it.
Problematic. I actually think it's problematic that y'all think that even prostitutes don't deserve respect. Like,
what are we talking about? What is dog? Listen, JR.
That's the overall premise of the question. Is just dress how you want to be addressed. I don't think it's around.
Hey, Kay, just sit back and take notes real quick.
No,
JR, what the heck is going on right now, bro?
No. Because y'all are saying dress how you want to be addressed.
Okay.
But then you're saying, I don't judge homeless people, but I do judge women at clubs. Like, where are you drawing these lines?
I judge everybody. What are you talking about?
I mean, some people just said they would assume a homeless person was homeless, so they wouldn't judge them.
No, what JR said was that homeless people.
That wasn't JR. That was Courtney.
I didn't say anything about judging. What I said was there's a homeless look, and you know what it is. You're not being honest right now. That's fine. So that's the thriller look that JR is doing. Okay. But there is. And if I dress like a homeless person on the street, they're going to assume I'm homeless.
Kay, who raised you? Hold on. Kay, what is going on?
You? What's going on?
I just don't like all of this.
Like Tawana been coaching her.
I tried not to laugh at that.
Wait. Kay, can I ask you like this?
Yeah, Gorilla, get your girl in check.
No. It's not that because because I don't want to say like that. Don't do that.
Get your girlfriend in check, bro.
Okay, if I was going on a job interview for a Fortune 500 company, right? Would it be acceptable for me to show up in this t-shirt, jumpers, and a ball-fitted cap, and I interview well, exceptionally well, like A+ student well, but I get looked over for the job?
Yes. Would that be acceptable? So you know what? I think.
Would it be acceptable? A yes or no?
This is my thought.
Yes or no? That. Yes or no?
This is my thought on that.
Yes or no?
Stop, so I can answer.
It's a yes or no question. Really, okay. Really, right? It's a yes or no question, right? Really? Yes. Okay. It's a yes or no. It is a yes or no. Short answer. Not long answer. Short answer.
Really, get your household in order, bro. Get your household in order, man.
Boy, you need to stop.
Real over there looking real D-weightish right now.
Jordan, you need to stop because you was choosing last week. You need to stop.
All right.
Oh,
come on, Miami Heat.
All right, Kay, I'm gonna come back to you, respectfully. Ashley, dress how you want to be addressed. Let's talk.
How you dress definitely affects how people see you and how they treat you. And I do think that it says a lot about you. I don't think it says everything about you. I don't think it warrants people disrespecting you per se, but you can't control how people see you though. You can't control how people see you and how they perceive you. So if you're dressing a certain way, you can't, what I mean by that is like, you can't tell them, oh no, don't see me as being a slut because, you know, I'm not. Like, you can't control how people see you. You just can't. I mean, you can control how you carry yourself, but what I'm saying is once you choose to carry yourself a certain way, that is people have a certain.
Has anybody ever mistaken you for a slut, Ashley?
No.
Then how can't you? Why do you think that is?
I don't carry myself that way. But
so how can you control how people perceive you?
Well, that's what I said. What I mean is you can control yourself and how you carry yourself, right? And so
which ultimately translate into how people perceive you.
What I'm trying to say is you can't make up somebody's mind. Like there are people who think that, oh, okay, I can dress a certain way, I can be half naked, but you shouldn't see me as being a slut. You shouldn't see me as being a whore. You can't tell somebody how they see you. Like, if that's the impression they get of you, that's what they get.
I got what you're saying. I got it.
That's what I'm saying.
You get the cap removal. You get the cap removal.
I think we have to be
I rescind
careful.
my cap.
I think we have to be careful though, because for instance, let me think about I think about guys, like a lot of Black guys like to wear baggier pants, or, you know, they have printed shirts and hats, and, you know, that's not traditionally associated with being a CEO, right? But then we have men like Jay-Z who has that attire, and his hair is anything but what we would consider professional. But he's very successful and very talented and capable. And we have to be careful. Like, you could see a guy walking down the street who, you know, has that streetwear. That doesn't necessarily mean he's like a thug.
That's the exception, actually.
But it's common though. It's common.
It's not common.
So
it's
not
as common as you think it is. It's not
I don't even think it's the exception. I think, and I'm sorry, Ash, just
real quick. Like, the thing about it was that he got his foot in the door, and then he was able to do what he wanted to do.
This the difference, though. When we talk about some of these celebrities and athletes and entertainers, and specifically Jay-Z, you're talking about somebody that's independently wealthy that built theirs. They built theirs, so he comes into the game with a different cachet. That's not going to be the same for regular Joe Blow coming off the street wearing that stuff into a quote unquote boardroom meeting. You know,
I think there's a difference.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
I say that because, you know, we got to be careful. Like, I completely agree that you have to carry yourself a certain way. You got to carry yourself in the way that you want to be treated. But I think when we just talk about dress, you still got to be a little careful, because think about how many Black boys are walking down the street and they're just casually dressed, but somebody's going to assume that they're a thief, you know? And so it's like, I strongly believe that everybody has to take accountability for how they carry themselves, and be mindful of that.
I'm the first person to lock my doors when I seen a dude walking down the street with the wrong hoodie on.
I mean,
Click.
Ashley, I agree with what you're saying.
Click.
Pull up on me.
I'm good for stereotyping. I got my head on the swivel like a mug. Like, it's a group of them. All walking in here at the same time, smelling like trees.
If he white with a hoodie, you don't click it.
He said what?
If he white with a hoodie, you not clicking it. White with a hoodie and a tattoo.
I'm clicking it with him too. Click. Listen. You fit the description. I would be a fool not to keep my head on the swivel and pay attention. If you wearing the uniform, you might not be a suspect.
Hey.
But what if I'm wrong? Click. Put it in draft. I'm gone, bro. I'm gone.
So you don't need to put it in park, huh?
I'm in drive. I'm just gonna cruise around the block. I'm gonna beep the horn. I'm gonna slow down.
Pull up on me.
If you're not walking out the house, I'm gonna keep on going, bro. It is what it is. We can say, y'all can say what y'all want to say. I don't care.
No, I think just to be honest and transparent, you know, even as pro-Black as I am, as much as I am in the hood, you know, I'd be lying if I say, you know, I don't look at certain young bloods at times, and you know, my antennas go up at times. You know what I'm saying? When you see certain people dressed a certain type of way or whatever. We're not saying that you can't get it from somebody in the suit, but it's almost like, I think about when I was in Atlanta, right? And when the clubs, when they first started charging like $100 to get in the club, right? Mm-hmm. Then they took away the sneakers. You had to come in with hard bottoms, and you couldn't wear a fitted cap. And this is around that change clothes, that Jay-Z change clothes with the button up. And they started making you, this is a hip hop club where you used to go out, you dance, you sweat it out. Well, who's sweating in hard bottoms, right? So you used to have to come to the club and present
old school joints.
But listen, you have to present yourself in a certain type of way, because the perception was you're not going to be quickest to do certain things. Number one, when you paying a certain amount, and number two, when you dressed a certain way.
I don't care.
I judge people every day. I don't go to certain concerts. Dog, I don't care what nobody thinking, man. We all judge each other, and it's a fallacy to say that you don't. Every day, subconsciously and consciously, we make a decision on whether or not we're gonna walk down that street and continue walking down that same path. I was just walking down the street the other day. I seen some Black Israelites over there harassing some people. I was like, you know what? Some Hebrew Israelites over there harassing people. They had their megaphone. They was talking real loud in people's ear. I said, I'm gonna go ahead and cross the street because I don't want no problem.
Look, I'm gonna ask you something. Sometimes, like when I saw your St. Patty's Day joint, you was
can't make that up, bro.
But look,
you can't make it up.
When you was doing St. Patty's Day joint, you ain't feel nervous with your camera out and the cousins out, and they was
they show me love in Detroit, bro. They love me here.
Yeah, it was definitely cousins in the street that day.
Okay,
they love me in the D, bro.
Okay, I'm gonna come back to you. I know you.
Israelites go hard though. I tell you that.
Look, I know you needed a little break a little earlier, so I'm coming back to you to
them Black Israelites. They was out there preaching hard. They had their signs. They was attacking people. I said, okay, let me walk across the street, bro.
All right, okay. Final thoughts on this.
You know, I just think we have to be really careful with this whole, like, I'm not going to respect somebody based on how they look situation. I think that's a projection of what's been happening to us for so long as Black people. I think that we really just need to be careful about it. I think that everyone just deserves respect unless they show that they don't. My default is treat somebody with respect until they start doing something that makes it look like, oh, okay, well, maybe, whatever. But I'm not about to look at somebody and be like, oh, their pants are sagging. I'm not going to treat them with respect. Oh, they have on a low cut shirt. I would never do that. And I'm really like concerned that people have that mindset.
You ain't never walked down the street, walked down the block, seen the wrong group of guys, and you didn't have a second thought of whether or not I wanted to navigate through that huddle right there. Mm-hmm. You ain't never had that thought in your life.
But she wouldn't call them out their name and call them.
Like, no one is saying that, but you do.
We talking about judging. We talking about judging, right? Yeah. Have you ever walked down the path, seen the wrong huddle, K, and had a second thought of whether or not you wanted to continue down that path? You ain't never did that in your life.
If it's at night and I'm walking, I avoid all huddles. I don't care what they look like. It's not about how they look.
Why are you judging people?
It's not about how they look. It's just about me staying away from people at night in general, because how they look is not the thing that determines if they're going to be. How is it cap in time?
But if it's in the daytime, you cool with it though, right? All huddles are good in the daytime. You good with all huddles?
You act based on what's going on in your surroundings.
You never answer a direct question. Like, we good if you give additional context once you answer the question, but you never ever answer a direct question. No, you never say yes and then continue with the context. Because
in my life, in terms of huddles and whatnot, I've been fully comfortable walking through all types of huddles, or I've been uncomfortable walking through others.